Hello, hello! Today's video is going to be all about my baby's first foods and kind of doing some prep with that and just talking a little bit about things that I have planned or philosophies I'm kind of going with. There's a lot out there. There's purees, there's baby-led weaning, and it can be kind of overwhelming thinking about gagging and choking and food allergies. So there's just kind of a lot to go over, so I just want to kind of share what I'm doing to just kind of give ideas out there and just let people know it's okay to do a mix of whatever you want. I don't think there's just one way to feed your baby the right way. I think that you can do a little this, a little that, and that's kind of what I'm planning on doing. So my baby he can sit up but not super confidently, and so this book that I've been reading is so great. It's by my favorite plant-based registered dietitians, and they are the creators of Plant-Based Juniors, and this is just such a great resource. There's recipes in here. It goes all the way up to 3 years old, so I'm sure I'm going to be referencing this for a really long time. But they mention that if your baby isn't sitting up super well, that they can be a little more likely to have a hard time swallowing or maybe have a choking hazard with certain foods, so that until they're confidently sitting up, you should maybe start with purees if they're not sitting up by 6 months. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We have given our little boy Crosby, we have given him a couple foods. He tried avocado, which he liked okay, and then he also tried banana, which he hated. So he hasn't had a lot of foods, just a few things. The avocado, I did give him thin slices, like the baby-led leaning style, where they can just grasp it and then eat it themselves and feed themselves. And then I also have given him, let's see if I can find it. I don't have it with me, but I've given him, actually, let me grab it. I've also given him this, so I'm sure you've seen these around, but this one's made of silicone. You can fill it with food. This is the brand Mushy, and this one had some avocado in it. I like that you can cover it and keep it in the fridge if they don't eat it all. So this is just kind of nice because he can hold it and feed himself, and I don't have to worry about choking or anything with this. A big question that I got is, are you going to feed your baby vegan or plant-based? And I was always like, yes, yes, of course, and I still plan on doing that. But this book opened my eyes a little bit because they talked about allergies, and some of the big allergens are milk and eggs, also fish and shellfish, but those ones I don't really plan on giving him just because I kind of talked to my sisters and family and none of them really gave their babies fish. But I do want to introduce eggs and milk just enough so that he's less likely to have an allergy to them, because even if he is going to eat plant-based, there is cross-contamination, things like that, so I am going to expose him to small amounts of egg and milk from 6 to 12 months, because that's what the research says. If you introduce a few times a week, small bits of these allergens like peanuts, wheat, soy, eggs, milk, if you introduce a small amount of that twice a week from 6 to 12 months, then they're much less likely to be allergic to it. So I am going to introduce little bits of that, but then once he's 12 months, we'll go back to just eating what we eat at home, which is plant-based, and not having milk and eggs in the house. So that might be interesting to you. I know that's controversial, and I'm definitely not saying that if you feed your baby vegan that your baby's going to get a deathly allergy. That's definitely not the case. But I do really like evidence-based things, and so that's a big part of why I'm plant-based in the first place, because the evidence of it leading to good health. And so with this evidence of allergy exposure, from what I've seen, that just makes sense to me, and that's what we're choosing to do. But if you're vegan and you totally feel uncomfortable with that, or that it's unethical, I totally support that also. So that's a little bit about what we're going to do. Once he's sitting up better on his own, then I plan on doing a little more of the baby-led leaning approach, giving him a lot of foods that are the size of your pinky finger, That's what's the suggestion for them to easily grasp. And then once he's about 9 months, then he will be able to have his pincher grasp and he'll be able to pick up small pieces. But right now he'll grasp with his palmar grasp with his whole hand. So that's the plan that I have. I have some recipes I want to try. I have just some kind of boring whole foods that I want to prep, but I'm going to take you along with me and let you know how it goes. You might notice that I don't show my baby on social media, so yeah, I won't be showing like his face. I just want to protect his privacy. But I will show like what I feed him and let you know how it goes. One thing I forgot to mention that this book has taught me is that a really important thing is iron, and basically okay, I have a special guest with me. But one other thing that this book has taught me that I did not know about is the importance of iron, and so that is something that we are trying to incorporate pretty much immediately. So just looking for iron-rich foods, and then also looking for foods rich in vitamin C, because that boosts iron absorption. So basically babies have stored iron from the umbilical cord, from pregnancy, and they have that storage, and then it starts to deplete and run out around 6 months. So it's really good for them to get that iron back, because breast milk doesn't have a ton of iron in it, even if the mom is eating a lot of iron. So that's kind of what we're focusing on, is iron-rich foods with a little bit of vitamin C to boost that iron absorption. So that could be a pair like beans with a little squirt of lemon juice, or or adding a little bit of maybe tofu with a little bit of bell pepper or something like that. So let's get prepping and get some food for you. Yeah. Okay, so I think my plan right now is to start with some sweet potato and carrots. So I have been soaking this, I did both sides, just in some baking soda. You only need to do it like 30 seconds. This is organic, but just in case there's any leftover residue. So now I'm gonna soak these for like 30 seconds each side, and then I'm going to peel them, and I think I'm gonna steam these and boil these. Okay, we've got sweet potato simmering, boiling, and then also the carrots are steaming. These pans are both the brand All-Clad. They're stainless steel, and this is just a green pan lid, but the brand is All-Clad. But they're my favorite pans to cook in. They clean super easy. If they get dirty, I just use a little baking soda and a tiny bit of water, and they're just really good. Because I find that even the more natural ceramic pans, they start to scratch. So these are just my favorite. I think these and cast iron are the best non-toxic pans. Okay, so I mashed some of the sweet potato. I have these little spoons. I'll try and find a link and share it in the description. But these are just kind of easy for them to eat off of, so we're just gonna try this sweet potato. Okay, Benny. What do you think? Sweet potato was pretty successful. Tried a few bites. Didn't act like you loved it, but didn't act like you hated it too much either, so it's a win. And this plate is from the brand Mushy. So I wanted to share about his high chair. The brand is Stoke. I'll try and link it. But a couple things I like about it is that this comes off super easy and is washable, and it seems comfortable for him. And then I also wanted one with a footrest, so that's just important for eating. It just helps them, I think it helps with choking, just that stability. It helps them be more comfortable eating. So I like this. It goes on and off super easy. And then his bib, all his plate and things like that are the brand Mushy. He has some other little Mushy products, like this little cup. It's weighted, so it's easy for a first cup, and it's good to just have one their size. And then this one, he loves playing with it. I've just been letting him play with them to familiarize himself with it. This one is a little straw cup, and they're just made with really good food grade silicone. I'll try and link these also. Okay, so I just mashed up the sweet potato and the carrot. The carrot's the darker one. And I got this also from Mishy, and I'm just going to freeze it like this. It's so nice that it's silicone, so I can just pop them out when I want some carrot or sweet potato. I'm kind of starting with just some of the boring like plain foods, and then I'm gonna start adding, you know, some spices and different things. But yeah, I really like this, and yeah, it's just a little easy prep for the day, and I'm gonna share some more things I'm gonna prep that are gonna be a little more flavorful. So we tried the steamed carrots. It was a good sensory experience, but not a lot went into his mouth, but that's okay. We also have been using a little open face cup, which I try to help him use a little, but he wants to use on his own, so a lot of water spilling, but that's okay. Yeah, overall, haven't found a food that he likes yet, but we'll keep trying. So Crosby's napping, so I wanted to take some time to talk a little bit about food allergens and how we're introducing that, because we did actually start today. We gave him a little bit of peanut butter. So from what I've looked into, a good way to do it is to give them a little bit of the allergen and then wait 10 minutes and then give them a little more, and then if they look good, then they can keep eating it, and then kind of just keep an eye on them for the next 2 hours. There's kind of some misconceptions. I think it's an older way of thinking that you can only introduce one food for a few days and then you have to keep going. But really, from what I've read and understood, that's kind of the more current research, is that you'd know within 2 hours if they are allergic to it. So I just kept an eye on him for the 2 hours. How I gave him the peanut butter is I just mixed a natural peanut butter. I made sure it didn't have honey in it, just with a little bit of filtered water. And then I put some on my finger and let him suck it off my finger. So I did that, waited 10 minutes, kept an eye on him. He looked totally good. He does have eczema, so I was kind of like making sure beforehand that he didn't have like an eczema flare-up that I would think was an allergy. So everything looked good. And then from what I've read, you want to introduce it 2 or 3 times that week again. So I'm just keeping track in a little notebook. I just have the allergens and then a little checkbox with the date, and then I'm going to try to introduce that 2 more times this week. And then the other ones I'm going to go through are soy, wheat, eggs, a little bit of milk, and tree nuts. So yeah, again, the eggs and milk I'm going to keep very minimal because we do like to eat plant-based, but I'm going to expose him. Like, I'll still do it just small amounts to just try and help him not have those allergies. So yeah, I think it went good. It's kind of scary just like giving your kid peanut butter for the first time, because I just feel like that's the most common allergy that you hear about, and we eat so much peanut butter. We like love it in this house, so I was nervous, like what if he's allergic? So it's kind of a relief after doing it the first time that he probably isn't. So yeah, I'll keep you updated as I prep some more stuff this week. Okay, so it's day 4, I think, of Crosby trying food. So I made some applesauce. This is just 4 apples that I just peeled and chopped and then simmered with a little bit of water covered on the stove for 15-ish minutes. And then I let it cool and then blended it in my Vitamix, and it tastes really good. I tried it out, so we'll see how he likes it. Again, I do want to give him a little bit more of like the bigger foods, the baby-led weaning foods, but he's still not sitting super great on his own, so it's better for them to just have soft foods if they're not sitting on their own really well yet. So we're doing another baby-led weaning style of meal, and this one you cut just the top of the banana off and then leave on this part so it's easy for them to grasp. So he's kind of gnawing at that a little bit, and then these he smushed a little, but they were bigger stripes of avocado that I rolled in hemp seeds. Makes it easier for him to grab, and then gives some extra good stuff on him. And then this is a little strip of tofu. He's actually tried a few bites of this, so it's easy, easy for him to grab. But yeah, going good so far. And we also did a little peanut butter exposure. I just let him lick some off my finger. I watered it down a little so it wasn't super sticky. But also a lot of food ends up on the floor. Feeding. This actually isn't too messy. The sweet potato, it was like orange everywhere. Like a white rug, a white couch, trying to keep it from getting attacked. Okay, I'm gonna end the video here. That's about a week of what I fed my baby. He is actually now sitting up really well, and he's able to try some more foods, and he really has loved tofu. That's probably his favorite food so far, maybe tofu and applesauce. And I've now introduced him to almost all of the allergens. I think all I have left is eggs, and so far he hasn't had any reaction. Yeah, maybe I'll make another video in the future of what he eats in a week. But for now, like and subscribe so I can keep making more videos. Thanks for watching.